not everyone can check their ego at the door and focus on learning something new every single day. I know for me, when the board came to me and said, you need to step aside as CEO, we need to bring in somebody more experienced, it was tough. And I wanted to do all of those things I told you earlier. Lash out, curl up in a ball, have a massive tantrum like my toddler and stomp my feet. But I didn't. Instead, I took a demotion and I focused on learning some of the managerial skills that I needed to learn. The company had outgrown my skill set as a leader. I was 26 years old when I started, and it grew so fast. And I was about 30 at the time, 31. And I needed to learn some new skills. It was no longer a militia, it was an army. And when you run an army, it's different than running a militia. When you run a militia and you say, turn left, everybody goes, aye, aye, and they see you. I mean, they hear you. You're small, right? But when you're in an army and you say, turn left, they don't hear you on the front lines. It's too big. So you need to have processes. You need to have best practices that allow you to communicate throughout the organization without stifling innovation and decision-making, which is very hard to do. So by stepping back as CEO and agreeing to take that demotion, I kept showing up to work, and I got to work. We did a deal with Highland Capital out of Boston, which is a tier 1 private equity group. And they brought in professional management. They brought in some phenomenally talented people, Harvard MBAs and some high-up people at Starbucks. And we got in a CEO, a chief operating officer, a chief financial officer who were world-class. And I was able to work with some of the smartest, most experienced people in business. And it was one of the best experiences in my life. I got to move down to Boston. I learned more in those 3 years than I had learned my entire lifetime. It was like getting a Harvard MBA and getting paid to do it. And of course, none of that would have been possible if I let my ego get in the way.